Do you know ARK Invest and Katie Wood? If not, then let me roll you this clip for you.
Kathy Wood. Kathy, welcome. I know 15,000 a share is not your base case.
No.
It's your reach case. What is your base case of where this $700 stock is in 4 years?
Yes, the base case, it's a 5-year target, so the end of 24, it's $7,000. There's just so much anxiety in the market. We're just picking our spots in names that have been hit disproportionately hard. Some of them, like Square, may not have had perfect quarters, but we think they're gaining huge share in the financial services industry and even share against PayPal's Venmo.
So at ARK Invest, we look at Tesla and we see it's a long-term play. So we have a 5-year time horizon on all of our investments. And it's really an autonomous electric vehicle company. And when we talk about competition, we think Tesla's at least 3 years ahead on both autonomous and electric. And it's really just a good thing that other players are coming into the market. It validates the space.
ARK Invest is responsible for the most ridiculous stock price targets, and most of the time they are absolutely right. Let us dive into ARK Invest. So let us have a look what we are talking here. So ARK Invest is one of the biggest innovation fund holders that is out there, okay? They are specializing into the next big tech in different kind of sectors, and therefore they have a couple of different ETFs that you can invest in. An ETF is like a basket full of stocks that is concentrating on a specific branch or a specific industry or a specific type of innovation, right? So ARK Invest having, for example, the innovation fund, which is researchable under the stock ticker ARKK, so IRKK. And if you are looking into this stock chart, then you can see something that is pretty awesome, because the innovation companies and stocks are really thriving through crises. And as you can see, this is actually the case here. In just a couple of months since the latest downturn in March, this main ETF of ARK Invest, the innovation ETF, gained 141%. Now let's dive into the other one. For example, the industrial innovation ETF. Okay, so this is the innovation companies of the industrial sector. So those are the companies that are really changing how we do industry in the future. This fund gained about 100%. Then we have also the genomic revolution multi-sector fund, which actually holds all those medical innovator stocks out there, and this actually gained about 125% since the latest downturn. And the ARK Web X.0, this is actually what is the next big thing in internet. Okay, so this is the fund that actually gained 137 since the inception. So as you can see, they are pretty much successful. And the question is, so what they make different? What you can learn from that? And actually, there is so many things that cross this channel's mentality that I love to talk about ARK Invest, because they are doing a lot of research, which I think is super important. Second, they have a great structure. They invest in really the names of tomorrow. They're looking into growth. They're looking into how things need to be redeveloped so we can thrive through the future. And they have this eye what the world will look like in 10, 20, 30 years. And therefore, let's dive into some more detailed information here. ARKfunds.com. This is actually the homepage of ARK Invest, and directly here on the homepage you will find the actively managed innovation ETFs. So here are the different ones. Some are the ones that we just dived into, like for example the ARKK, the ARK Innovation ETF, or the ARKG. This is the genomic revolution. Then we have AKF, the fintech innovation, and so on and so forth. Even they are in 3D printing, for example. So as you can see, they are all about innovation, right? Okay, so once you go here on the website, you can actually also see that what is nicely here is that they really try to emphasize that they are looking for the next big thing. So here's, for example, a timeline that, 1781, the steam engine changed our world, then the internal combustion engine, then the telephone, electric lighting, airplane, television, microprocessor, internet, mobile phone, first human genome sequence, and so on and so forth. So they are really about those crazy new inventions. And the nice thing about the current website of ARK Invest is that you can dive into, for example, this one here, ARK Innovation ETF, which is one of their biggest, or let's say the main fund, and you can actually have a look here into their, where is it, fund holdings. Okay, so you can go here on fund holdings and you have a real time. This, for example, as of this recording, this is from Friday, you can see which stocks they own and how many and how much is their market value, what is the weight into the fund. This is updating every single day. So if you go tomorrow on the website, you can see which holdings are in the ETF that you are investing. And let's have a look into some major investments here. Okay, so Tesla obviously is one of the big investments here. They talked also about Square, the payment revolution. Then we have Roku, an alternative to Netflix. Then we have Illumina, those genome stock that Chicken Genius is talking about a lot, but I think he dropped it now. Other than that, there is a lot of smaller companies that some of you might don't know. A little bit of Facebook. Iridium is, I think, a satellite company, and then also a little bit of Snapchat. So Morgan Stanley government is here, Nintendo. And as you can see, this fund has, for example, 48 stocks. Okay, so a lot of diversification here in this fund. And if you are going into the other funds, let me have a look how you can go here, for example, into the autonomous and technology and robotics fund. Here's interesting that they have one of our favorite stocks here. So as you can see, Tesla is also in this fund included, and they are holding 27,000 shares. In the main fund, they holding more than 365 shares after the stock split. This is 5 times, so they will have 1.5 million shares, more than 1.5 million shares of Tesla in this fund. And other than that, here in autonomous and robotics, they have also companies like, for example, Amazon, Workhorse, Apple, Virgin Galactic as well is the 28th biggest holding here, making about 1.36% of this fund, and they have 455,000 shares, guys. Okay, I think more than any of us has. This would be my dream position, to have so many shares in my portfolio of Virgin Galactic, but working on that. So other than that, we have also Nvidia here, Autodesk. Some of you might know this. So this is more concentrated on I would say robotics, space exploration, autonomous driving, and this kind of revolutionizing innovation. So this is actually their structure of their fund and how they are playing this with each of them. And each of these funds has a different specification and more concentration of the industries. And I think that it's a fantastic way for you to invest something that is like a basket of shares. Okay. The performance of ARK Invest and its different funds are actually doing. So here we have the ARK Innovation Fund, we have the ARK Next Generation Internet, the robotics, and the genome ETFs that we just talked about. And as you can see, all have pretty much the same gain here, and this is just year to date. So just in this year, the lowest was here the autonomous, I guess. Yeah, this was the autonomous fund. The best one was actually the Next Internet Generation Fund. So, and then the other funds in between. Now the question is, how they did compared to, for example, a fund like the S&P 500, right? Because so many people saying, you know, the best thing that you can do is to invest into the S&P 500. So we will have a look into the S&P 500 right now in terms of performance. So let's drop the S&P 500 in green right now here. So as you can see, huge difference. The S&P 500 could barely make 10% this year, while the ARK Web Innovation Fund made already almost 100%. Okay, so 10 times or 9 times the value that the S&P have done. Now let's make it a little bit more spicy, and let's drop here the Nasdaq fund. And as you can see here, let us just choose a number like turquoise. And as you can see, the Nasdaq was one of the best indexes that you can invest, right? There's all the big tech companies, and even this make even the better performance than the lowest of the ARK Invest fund. So here you can see the strengths between those. But was it always the case, or is it just this crisis here? Let's zoom out here a bit, okay? So as you can see here, actually, the Nasdaq was pretty good, and the S&P was also better. Okay, so in 2009, actually those did better than the ARK funds, and also it's pretty much we're always on the top of ARK Invest or ARK Innovation Fund's performances, except the innovation, the main fund here, the blue line, as you can see, was here in beginning first quarter in 2019 on top of the big indexes. Other than that, you know, here also back in 2018, also a little bit better than the indexes. So you can say that the main index, ARKK, was always on the top of those investments rather than the indexes. So as you can see, then everything drops, and this is the beauty about innovation companies, then thrive through those crises. So I expect that this performance will be continued now over the next couple of months, because innovation companies are really thriving, and this is because they are having already the product of the next generation, what will happen after the crisis, right? And the crisis really hit the main business of companies like Volkswagen, Daimler, and now they had already the problem to having a declined main business and have to put so much investments into the next generation business like electronic cars or electric cars, digital cars. And on the other side, now they have also a health crisis they have to deal with, and still need to invest so much into the new business while Tesla just thriving and making profits and so on. So as you can see, that's why Tesla is so great right now as of an investment. And here you can see also ARK Invest was way better than the indexes, the two indexes, Nasdaq as well as S&P 500 in 2018. So I hope this will show you that ARK Invest is a pretty damn good investment. So before we diving into the conclusion of this video about ARK Invest, I would like to invite you to press the join button below all my videos or live streams. Now, if you are joining the membership here at Wolf of Dubai, you can support the channel obviously, but you can get access also in the second tier to the absolute famous Wolf of Dubai Discord chat group, which talks 24 hours about stocks, even on the weekends, before, after vlogs. So it's super great, super intelligent people out there. Then the third tier is actually one-on-one with me, so you can chat with me on social media or via email. We can talk about your concerns, about your stocks. It's like a mentorship with one of very professional stock investor. So I wish I had something like this, and it's cheaper than your Netflix subscription that costs you a lot of time, and this hopefully makes you money. So check it out and maybe you consider to join. Now on the other side, let's dive into the conclusion. So as you can see, they are focused on the future, and I like the saying, never bet against the future. It's really hard betting against the future, and therefore those Tesla shareholder short sellers are very, very bad right now, okay? I mean, it's already hard to think for some people that they lost about totally the gains and didn't invest ever in Tesla stock, but those who are betting even against it are really, really, really poor right now. So as you can see, it's fantastic to have people working for you that research all of these things, the market opportunities, the new companies on the horizon, and then putting together the best in a ETF that you just invest and you are happy. Now, on the other side, you have to also understand that this ETF, you know, before, as we have seen in the charts, before, you know, this big dip, were pretty flat, so it's not always growth, okay? And this is my personal opinion that, you know, if you diversify too much, and we have seen some of this funds has 30 plus stocks, right? And the one stocks that will never make it, and some stocks they will, you know, do pretty well. And as you can see, my philosophy is rather to have maybe 3 to 5 stocks in your portfolio. But if you don't have the time to watch for the stocks, to don't research, then maybe the ARK Invest fund is something for you that you should consider. So check it out and let me know in the comments below.